Hello guys, nice to see you on my channel. My name is Michaela. I'm a student in Heidelberg and I'm doing videos on personal development. And this video is actually an answer or feedback session on last week's video, which I did in German, and this one will be in English for my English friends. My topic last week was a personal development challenge, a new thing I wanted to try. And the challenge for myself was that I wanted to be able to change my mood voluntarily, or I wanted to see if I actually am able to do that. And my challenge had 3 parts and lasted for the whole week. And the 3 parts were that first part was I wanted to smile for 5 minutes each day, just plain smile in the mirror or without the mirror, just in order to see if actually just moving my face and using my muscles in a certain way actually makes me feel in a different way. And also moving my body in a way that I associate with happiness or with a feeling of joy, which is slightly open and not crunching down and not holding too tight, but rather having like an open kind of body language. And the second part was that I wanted to compare every day with the week before on a scale from 1 to 10, from 0 to 10. So 0 would be, I feel really, really bad, I had a really bad day, and 10 would be like the best day I can imagine. And the week before, my average was, I had to guess it back then because I just decided on the challenge on the day I made the video. So my average before the challenge was a 6, so I was content with the day. That means I was basically, I would say I'm good with the days. And now for last week, every day I noted down which number I would give the weeks, and the number that came out of that was a 7. So I could notice a slight improvement from the challenge or through the challenge on that. And the third part actually was that, damn it, I forgot. Where is it? So the third part actually already mentioned, because the smiling and moving of the body were actually 2 parts. So I had to check that up again because I thought it's basically one concept, and I think it is, but there were 2 types of actions I would do. And I would try to remind myself every day, as often as I can, to just decide to be happy. Because that was what I wanted to be. I wanted to feel more joy and more happiness in my everyday life. And that's why I decided on that. And I already mentioned one observation that I had, which is the number on the scale from 0 to 10 I gave each day, and it was a slight improvement on a scale of 7. Every day I actually did the 5 minutes smiling, and every time I thought about it, I also moved my body in a way that I would associate with openness and with a feeling of feeling good and feeling happy, basically. So, but I also had several other observations, and I want to share with you another 3 of the observations I had and which I find important. And I would be very curious about your idea on that or your feedback if you have some. So, first one is, again, from a scale from 1 to 10, there was a slight improvement from the week before to the last week. from 6 to 7 in average. So this is just a slight improvement, but it's nonetheless for me noticeable. And that is why I actually want to say that I want to continue the challenge for the whole month in order to see if there is any actually significance or endurance of that change. The second change I noticed was that instantaneously, when I was smiling or moving my body, I would really feel different. Just the sheer movement of my body would make me feel different. So that's the second observation, because oftentimes I would also doubt this concept that actually just by moving your body you could feel different. Or for a long time I actually did doubt it. But now that I tried, I could see that it actually would make a difference. But I also have to note that still now I could not manage to hold this kind of new state for a long time. Normally I would fall back into the emotion and the posture that I had a few minutes ago. Only when I have the 5 minutes smiling, because I set time and room apart and I set my alarm clock for 5 minutes, I would just concentrate and focus on that for 5 straight minutes, and then I would also do it for 5 minutes. But when it comes to posture or just thinking about, oh, my challenge, I wanted to be happy, I wanted to decide that I'm happy, then I have difficulty to maintain that for even a few minutes. I would kind of lose it after 30 seconds or a minute or so. So it's not very stable yet, but I have a feeling that this is something I can improve, and I can make it last longer if I just train myself to not lose focus so quickly. So the second observation is it actually works by just moving my body in a certain way to feel different. And the third observation is that if I would really decide that I wanted to be happy, and this is where I want to go with my mood and with my body and just all of me, that it would actually feel authentically better. So it would not feel fake for me, but instead I have this idea or image in my head as if I would just step into another role of myself, as if I had a shadow, like a shadow self, which is standing right next to me, and I would just step into that. And this shadow self of me is just a generally happy self. And so I would just step into that role of being this happy self of me, or being this happy version of myself. And this would I think it would feel like a change of roles. And this is my third observation, that it actually, if I decide to be happy and I decide that this is what I want to be, that it would actually feel authentic to do that. And so for me, it is very much possible to make this decision, even though also here applies the same need for improvement as for the last part, which is I have difficulty to maintain this kind of state for a longer period of time. But, I cannot say it yet. But I think that's also something I can improve, that it lasts longer, and this is why I also want to extend the challenge for another month. I will not do a video on this every week, because this will be kind of redundant, but rather after a month I plan to give another feedback on that and see what my observations will be back by then. And I have a fourth observation for you, which is that, as you might have guessed, several obstacles came up when I actually was faced with my challenge, or I wanted to do my challenge. For example, when I was normally getting up in the morning, I would do the smiling for 5 minutes first thing after getting up in order to start my day feeling good. And there are two kind of emotional obstacles I faced when I did that. And the first obstacle was that in my mind, I would feel kind of guilty when I wanted to just decide to be happy, for just plain no reason. I wanted to decide to be happy because I didn't want to be dependent on outside circumstances as much as I was before. I didn't want to be all my life just being, I don't know, pushed around by all the things that I feel are happening to me. I rather want to be able to decide and have as much control as possible about how happy I am or what my life looks like, which is why I'm interested in personal development in the first place. But when I did that, when I wanted to decide that I'm happy right now for no reason, I would feel sometimes kind of guilty because I would be thinking about all the other people I know which are not happy, which are instead feeling really bad, which are having like a lot of challenges to face in their own lives, and some of them are really really unhappy, and I would just feel guilty for being happy. So that is one kind of obstacle that would make it difficult for me to stay in that role that I was describing before, that happy role. So how can I dare to be happy? And the second obstacle I noticed was that one reason I thought why I have difficulty of maintaining that state is because I somehow feel the need of having a reason to feel happy. So I think like, why am I happy? Why should I be happy? Why can I be happy? Why would I be allowed to be happy? How dare I to be happy? These are all questions that ask for a reason to be happy about. And that went so far that I actually tried to find just a very simple reason, like, oh, look, the sky is so blue. Or I would tell myself, this was such a nice day, the weather was good, or something. So I was trying to find an artificial reason, but it didn't work so well yet. Maybe because I tried to find like an artificial reason and not something that would be a real reason for me. But on the other hand, I mean, the point was to be happy without reason. So this is why I say it's kind of an obstacle, but I think it could also be something that is helpful, because, I mean, when we are upset, then we also tend to have a lot of reasons, or find a lot of reasons why we're upset. Like, I'm tired, my back hurts, I didn't drink enough, I didn't get the kind of attention I wanted to have, I didn't get the kind of result I was looking for. Whatever it is, there are reasons that are popping up in your mind when you ask yourself the question, why am I not feeling good? You will always manage to find reason. At least that's my experience. I always manage to find some reasons. But on the other hand, when I say I just want to be happy, and you decide that you want to be happy without a reason, then it can be kind of maybe difficult for your mind. And it might be helpful if you actually just find something that you can authentically be happy about, that you appreciate, that you can really appreciate in this moment right now where you are. So let's say for me, if it was the weather, now it's summer, and if I could just say, oh, this feels so good. The warmth of the sun and the blue sky, but not make it artificial, but see it and just open yourself or myself up to appreciate these things, which are actually pleasant to me. So these are my 4 observations which I wanted to share with you. As I said, I would be very curious about what you think about it. If you think, this was interesting or not, leave me a comment. And I will talk to you again next week, and I wish you a pleasant weekend and a pleasant week. Until next time, and good night. Bye.